As an empath or someone who feels other people's energy, sometimes it's not easy to know whether the emotion belongs to you or to someone else. But there is a simple and effective method to check if the emotion is yours or not. Let me illustrate with a recent example from my life. So yesterday, we received some bad news about one of my relatives. My mom is the one who got the information first from the phone. And when she tell me about the bad news, I was actually feeling quite rather calm, open, and accepting of what is. But later on, when my mom told the same information to my brother, I started feeling a shift in the vibe. My brother wasn't saying anything. He just said that there's something I don't understand. But I could sense some emotion bubbling underneath the surface. And I could feel something boiling inside of me. There is irritation, frustration, and maybe even some anger. This emotion clearly isn't mine, because previously I was calm and accepting. But now with hearing the same information, I felt some negative energy arising. And at that point, I know that that emotion is my brother's. So I told my brother, if you have any confusion, just ask and seek clarification with mom. But he wasn't saying much. And so I decided to pull myself out of the situation and recenter myself in the room. I could already feel that I was catching on his emotion, and I need to re-establish my boundaries and clear the emotion so that I could feel myself again and be in my own energy. So how do we tell if an emotion is ours or not? If you already know what you're feeling and there is a sudden shift in your emotion, plus there is no reason why you would feel this way, then this emotion is probably not yours. The keyword here is without knowing why. If you suddenly feel anxious, depressed, or happy without knowing why, the emotion is probably not yours. For example, you just go to the crowd and then you feel all kind of confusion and conflicting energy, then these emotions aren't yours. These emotions are what you absorb and match with your surrounding. If an emotion is yours, it's usually supported by a specific perspective, thoughts, or belief system. For example, someone cuts your queue and you feel angry. The reason why you feel angry may be because that you think that the person shouldn't be doing something like this. However, if you don't have any opinions or belief about what the other person should or should not do, then you won't feel angry. Or if you're thinking that the other person may have something urgent that needs to be done, you may even feel compassion towards the person. Or if your perspective is that the person didn't see you or didn't cut your queue deliberately, then you won't feel angry too. When it comes to your own emotion, there is always something to support the emotion. Very seldom will there be no thoughts unless you are someone who is not aware of your hidden thoughts or belief, or you may be denying your thoughts and belief. Then you may not realize the reason. But if you're someone who asks this question, like whether an emotion is yours or not, I would think that you will have at least some kind of self-awareness. If not, you won't be asking this question in the first place. So it's always important for us to be aware of our emotional baseline, the emotional set point, just like what I shared in this previous video, so that you know when your emotion starts to deviate from your norm. But my example is quite easy to differentiate. Let's take another example, something more vague, and see whether we can apply this method. Okay, so for example, what if you're not aware of your emotion? You're not paying attention to your own emotion. For example, you are just doing your work on the computer, and suddenly someone comes into a room and complains to you about their life, or tells you some injustice about the world or what they saw on the news. And then all of a sudden you feel negative. Is this emotion yours or not? It actually depends. If you empathize with another person, you agree with them like, hey, your boss shouldn't be so mean, or how could this person do such a thing to another human being, and you feel that negative energy, then that is your emotion, because that is your opinion about the specific situation. The person shares with you a piece of information and you react to their information. Reacting to someone's bad situation is still your emotion. On the other hand, if you have a neutral opinion to the circumstances, but because your friend was feeling all kinds of anger and negativity, and then that makes you feel angry and negative, then I would say that this emotion is from your friend, from the other party. But be really careful here. By matching their energy, you may start having the same thoughts as them. This is because when you start to feel angry and negative, you start attracting thoughts that are angry and negative too. And that's why they always say that you have to be careful with who you hang out with, because it's contagious. If you keep hanging out with people who are negative or people who complain or gossip, then what you're feeding yourself is with their negative belief system, and you may start believing what they say as true. You may be convinced by them if you're not very aligned to your own center, to your own energy. But you have to note that these thoughts are a result of you matching their energy. It's not your initial perspective about the situation. So your emotion still originates from the other party. However, regardless if the emotion is yours or from another party, once you feel the emotion in your body, then it's your responsibility to deal with it. And to do that, you must develop this skill, which I share in the next video.